Alrighty, folks. Just got a nice haircut. Y'all see that? Alright, I've had a couple of complaints about the audio. I apologize. It is what it is. I'm not going to remake a video unless it's completely inaudible, and that was not the case. Yeah, there's some background noise. I'm using my phone in the best location it will set right now, and that's what I've been doing for the last handful of videos. What I don't know, I am in the truck. It is hooked through my Bluetooth, and I don't know if I'm having a deal where some of the videos are using the phone microphone, and some of them may be going through and using the microphone through the Bluetooth here in the truck. I don't see a way for me to control that right yet, so I don't know. There's a microphone right here above me, I think. Anyway, there's something there. Anyway, today I kind of wanted to talk about what may be some of the new content coming up. One thing is a review. I want to do a review on this truck, and not a ride-along video of that. I want to do an actual walk-around video of that. I just haven't had time yet. A lot of things I want to point out on this truck and compare to previous trucks I've had, and highlight what I really like about this truck. A few things that I don't like, but not too many. Part of my reason for getting the channel back up was to start some new content on something slightly farm related, but not. So I do monetize my videos. Y'all see that with ads and commercials. I mean, last year, I didn't make any videos. I think I got maybe 2 payments out of Google. That's fine. I wasn't putting out any content. But, in making these videos, you get analytical data and different things. So, what I'm getting at is just, I went back and was looking through years old content that, obviously still out there, people are still watching. Kind of looked at what some of the top earners were, and one of those is my kind of how-to video I did on changing the oil. Did I do the oil? That was just the fuel filter change on the Ram 2500 I had. Obviously, a lot of people want to do that themselves, so I'd assume the majority of those are finding that video and watching it to figure out how to do it and what they need, etc., etc. So that's one of the top ones. Some of the others were odd and end things around the farm. There's one on a Vicon disc mower that I do not know why it gets so many views. It blows my mind. But it's one of the top earners for some crazy reason, or I think it's monetized. It's at least in numbers of views. So I guess there's 2 things you can look at: number of views and number of or how much money it makes. I guess they kind of go together usually. But anyway, watch duration, all that kind of stuff plays into that. But anyway, I was looking at that and a few other videos that weren't maybe top earners but did get a lot of views, and they were kind of basically videos of me working on stuff, or hands-on stuff, mechanic stuff, whatever. And looking at all that, and just at the same time, as I mentioned in my earlier update video, I was kind of thinking about getting just an older truck for the farm, something I can tinker with, something I can also enjoy. Might even be on, not a show winner, but maybe a car show piece. On occasion, I used to do a lot of car shows, and I miss doing that. I've done tractor shows, as y'all seen in the 720 video, but just I was kind of looking at that, and in researching kind of old trucks and what I might want, could afford to just get and be in a place where I can tinker with it, make it my own, etc., etc. The GM square body trucks they're hot right now. I guess they have been for a few years. They're kind of earning their place in the classic car realm, or classic vehicle realm. And growing up, I basically learned to drive in one of those trucks. We had two when I was younger, and one of those we had a really long time. And I was driving a pickup truck at 7, just not on the highway, obviously, but they're on the back roads and in fields and stuff like that. And we had I'm trying to remember the year of it. I won't say it was an 83, maybe an 84 or 5 GMC square body half-ton pickup. And before that, we had another square body pickup that I would say I've been trying to get some details on it, but we don't remember everything about it. It was I'd say 70s. So the square body truck started in 1973. They ran up to 1987 in the half tons, and then some of the 3/4 and 1 tons, and then the Blazers or Jimmys that were square body ran on up, about 91, I think. But in, let's see, 1980, I believe from 80 to 81, there was some design changes of the square body. Changes of the front, the grille, and some interior dash redesign, whatnot. But anyway, what I was getting at, the first square body truck we had when I was little that I remember would have been one of the 1973 through 1980, and I don't know what year details. I don't know anything. I just remember my dad hauled some bags of fertilizer in it, rusted out the bed, and we had some empty soybean bags, paper bags in there one time when I was playing around. I went through the bed and cut my leg open. So that's one of the things I remember about it. And I was told not to do that, and I did it anyway, so that's what I got. Anyway, so I thought, it would be nice to have a square body in that time frame, since that was something we had growing up. I remember, I drove the 83 to 85 one, I can't remember, it was white. I drove that truck a lot, even when I got my license. I hauled a lawnmower around the back of it for a few years, back and forth mowing church lawns and other lines, making a little money on the side. It was a 6-cylinder truck, which was notorious for starting issues. Didn't run all that well. We pulled fertilizer spreader buggies with that thing and everything else. We'd hit a hill, we'd turn the heater on, you know, to keep the engine cool, try to get all the heat out of it, because it overheat. Thing caught on fire one time. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But oddly enough, that was a really good driving truck. You know, a lot of people I've seen on that. The power steering and the steering was really good in those trucks. They had a nice ride. I mean, this truck I'm in now, it's like that. It's like that. It's just got nice steering and drives nice and straight and true. Has a smooth ride. But anyway, so a few weeks back, I got to looking around, watching Facebook Marketplace and some various other websites that had square bodies for sale. Just kind of, I was educating myself and trying to get a grasp on prices, which were all over the map. It is absolutely insane what some of these trucks go for. When I first started looking at what I wanted, as far as what I wanted to get into, as far as the level of, let's say, restoration or mechanic work or whatnot, I really wanted to get something that looked decent, was already running, you know, wasn't perfect, just, you know, needed some TLC kind of things. But, you know, it was crazy what some of the prices I said. It was just stuff I wouldn't go. There's no way I was going to spend that kind of money on an old truck. So I kept looking, and I had saved off a couple in my saved items in Facebook Marketplace, and they were local, very local. I never made it to look at either one of them. One of them was below the price range I had in mind. One of them was right at the price range I had in mind. What I could just go pay cash for and be done with it. But both of which, the odd part was they both had been up, according to Marketplace, for over a month. And I thought, you know, nobody's buying these, so I wasn't in a rush to look at them. I was interested in them. Both trucks supposedly were original miles. They weren't very high miles, as far as, I think both trucks were probably in the 100,000 mile range, if I remember right. But supposedly were not like 200,000 plus. One had a very interesting history background on it, as far as it was bought new locally, and was basically a one-owner truck. I think the original owner had passed, and it had been handed down to a daughter or granddaughter, and the husband of that lady was selling it, but still driving it and using it. And that truck was a 1977, which, if any of y'all that know the square body history, know that was kind of a 1 year off truck. It had a special gold trim on the outside that year only, and that truck had it. And that was a Silverado truck, so it was a higher trim package truck. Had some options on it, but it was a two-wheel drive truck. Both of those trucks I was looking at were two-wheel drive trucks, but it had some rust in it. Supposedly was original paint, but I did talk to the guy through Messenger about it briefly and got some of the details, which I'm giving y'all. And the other truck was, I believe that truck, I'm pretty sure it had been repainted. I can't remember if they told me if it was original paint or not. No, that truck had been repainted. But supposedly it was numbers matching, engine, transmission. The interior had some work done to it. The interior looked real nice in it. I liked the color scheme of it. The color scheme of that truck, what drew me into it was the color scheme of that first square body that we had when I was growing up. Kind of a two-tone tan and white down the center. And I think that was the same paint scheme that was on the truck we had. And the problem with that truck was the guy that had it was selling it for somebody else, and somebody had put some, this is a matter of opinion, but had put some aftermarket just ugly wheels on it, and I knew getting it, those were going. Which the good thing about it was I looked at the wheels and whatnot and what other people were selling for in marketplace and figured out that, you know, I could turn around and sell them and then buy original white wheels and the dog dish hubcaps that would have, you know, been time period correct on it, and it would have looked like I would have wanted it. And again, I was dragging my feet on both of them to go look at them, and we was having some bad weather during that time and whatnot, so I never made it to look at either one. At that time period, another truck showed up that was not local at all, that I really just, it checked off every little bell and whistle, but it don't have any bells and whistles, that I was kind of looking for. And that one irked me. But I talked to the guy about it, and I don't know if the guy just wasn't in a really great location to sell it or what, because I feel like where we are and what I was seeing on prices of these trucks, he was way underpriced on the truck, in my opinion. But the guy had it listed in a Square Bodies for Sale group on Facebook, and he had his price, and people were posting like, I'll give you this, I'll give you this, give you this, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, they're lowballing him under what I think is already a good price on the truck. I scratched my head on that, and I scratched my head on it, and I thought, you know, it's just slightly over what I had in a budget, what I was thinking. I mean, just slightly. And I wasn't gonna be able to go put hands on it and touch it, see it. It was too far away. I'm not gonna say where it was just yet, but it was just out of reach as far as that goes, and that bothered me. I was like, I really, you know, buying an old truck like this, I wanted to look at it, but there was some positives to it that made me feel a little more comfortable about it. So that's kind of going on, and I got these other two trucks locally that I'm like, well, I can swing one of these. I wasn't sure it was what I wanted. And the truck that had the one owner history that was purchased locally, that had some rust, you know, it wasn't a color combination that I really liked. It was neat that it was a 77, had the gold trim, but I wanted a truck that I could keep original, and I just wasn't sure. I just didn't want to have something. It wasn't color scheme. Like, I really liked the reds, and I really liked the two-tone reds, the browns, some of the colors in the 80s they come out with, you know, just a farm truck, you know, looking truck. And so I guess what really kind of made my decision was going through some bad weather. I was looking for an opportunity for the weather to clear up. We had some ice and snow and stuff. And I need to go look at one of these two trucks, just kind of see. And right at the end of that, I guess everybody was cooped up inside looking. They sold both of them, I mean, like within a day of each other. And I was like, man, they'd been up for, one of them had been up, I think, nearly 2 months. They both had been up for over a month, and then just, I mean, like that sold. And I was like, okay, so the only one I had my eyes on then was that one that was not local, way far away, and was on to deal with shipping. So I got to talking with the guy, because there was a lot of questions on this one. We got to talking. He's really, really good to work with. I mean, he did more than he had to. We talked about it, went over a lot of the details on it, work he'd done on the truck, the history of the truck. The history of the truck was what? He's second owner of the truck, and this truck shows to be extremely low mileage for its age, and from everything I can tell, it's original mileage. And the truck was bought new, local to this guy, and it stayed in that area its entire life. And it has documentation on it, all the original manuals. It has the sales receipt from the dealer. It has the sped sheet or the build sheet still in it. Everything matches what it should be, except one thing, and that'll have to be gone into later. But it was basically pulled out of a barn, and very interesting history on it that was documented and kept. And that was the lure to that truck, among some other things. But so I got to talking to the guy, and you know, I was telling him, you know, the hang up was basically having it shipped here. And of course, I obviously did some research on that before any numbers were talked about, and surprisingly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But it was still, you know, the money I would have invested in it would be, the shipping would be on top of what we could make a deal on, and I sweated and sweated it. I couldn't come to grips with it, and I kept talking to him. I felt like I was wasting his time. I didn't know if he was going to make an offer on it. I kept asking him questions. He kept being nice. He sent videos and photos and all kind of information. And, you know, I didn't feel like, you know, it was any kind of scam, or I was getting one pulled over on me. So I was comfortable with that. So I finally made him an offer, and I felt like, I didn't know if I was lowballing what he was asking or not. I was higher than what people were saying in the comments in the Facebook group, and those numbers were at where the other two trucks I was looking at. He wasn't going to take that, so I knew it was going to be a little bit higher than that. But I just threw a number out there, and I thought, he's probably going to hate me for this, but I threw it out there, and he come back. He wanted $500 more for my offer. And I sat there and bit my tongue, and I was like, I am going to regret the fire out of this if I don't do it, because this truck just checked off a lot of boxes of what I was kind of looking for. and it had the documentation, it had the history, it very well, until I get it and lay my hands on it, I won't be able to make a determination for sure if the odometer's rolled over, but I would be highly surprised if it has from what I have seen and the telltale signs of that. But I don't know. But even if it has, it still would not be that high mileage for its age, really. And the condition of the truck, said as far as it's really nice. I just feel like that truck here, this location in this market, from anything I can find even remotely close to it that is one or two owner documented like that, is more than double what I've paid for. Is more than double. People, the asking prices, I don't know if that's what they're getting, but the asking prices are more than double what I paid for it. So as you know, I did purchase the truck. Odd thing is, there's a side story. It just, you know, you do things like this sometimes, and then something happens a few days later, and your just stomach just sinks. So all that went down. I sent the guy the money, and he was paid, and I sent a bill of sale back and forth, and I agreed to it. Kind of did all that fast because I knew other people were looking at it, and I didn't want to lose it. Like, I knew the mother two sold, and then I kind of started panicking, like, I need to get this or I'm really gonna hate myself. And I got the guy the money. It was paid. Even got the shipper lined up for it. I did a bid thing on that and got, I think it's a real reasonable offer on getting it shipped here, which is actually happening today. Today is February the 7th, I think. So like I said, this has been going on for a couple, 3 weeks, and it's just now, it's been more than 2 weeks. It's been at least 3 weeks. From the time I started talking to him till we kind of got everything done. But anyway, I read like taking a different route to work today. But sorry, my mind's getting off track. Got him paid, and truck's coming today. But right after all that happened, I got called into the office with another person at work, and was informed that our work with where I'm at will be ending. So I'm now looking for another job. That's what, and I mean, how was I supposed to go back to the guy and like, oh, I want my money back? I mean, it was just, there too much stuff was set in motion, and is what it is. I mean, I've got some leads. I think I'm gonna be okay. You know, I'm not broke, and I'm not in that bad a position, but not yet. But I mean, if it comes to it, I'll just have to sell the thing. That's all I know to say about it. But let's hope not. But anyway, that's kind of the new content. If you've listened this far, I wanted to get that. I wanted to do videos of it. I wanted to go through it. There is some work that I'll outline when I get it. It does need to be. There's some things that need to be addressed. Fortunately, immediately, it's not stuff that's going to really cost me any money. Matter of fact, the guys bought some of the parts and intended to do it himself, sending the parts with the truck. So I've just got to do the work. It's a running, driving truck. It's not like it's inoperable or anything like that. And the truck's actually placed and/or won in a car show or two from talking to the guy. So it's like I said, I don't consider it a show winner type truck, but in certain car shows, and depending on how the show's structured and the judging and the layout, I mean, it for its story and history and originality, the truck wins some stuff. It's a rare bird. You know, I'm looking forward to going over it. I was really looking forward to this truck, and just doing videos and tinkering with it and driving it. I wanted a good driving. I also wanted a truck that I could maybe just drive on weekends back and forth to the house and the farm. Just enjoy it kind of thing. Go cruise it some. Just that's kind of what I was looking for. But I still wanted just a nice, original, time period correct truck, and I found that. But I just had to get slapped in the face with this job deal, so just, you know, that is what it is. The company I do work for still may align me into some other things, so I'm waiting on that, and I may go back to some previous types of work that I've done over the past 6-7 years, but it is what it is. I had no forecast of that happening or coming. Matter of fact, the day before, me and the other person had got our contract number for the year. You know, it was like everything was good, and then the next day it was all came crashing down. So, unfortunately, but hopefully things will turn out okay here soon, and it won't jeopardize my ability to hang on to it and proceed with videos and things on it as I had intended. But that's kind of your update. So as far as new content goes, y'all can be looking forward to that. I figured the truck will be here in 2 to 4 days. It's got to make a little bit of cross-country trek, but hopefully it gets here safe and sound, and you know, I'll get some video of it, and we'll do a walk around of it, and I'll go over the whole story, the history. We'll look at the documentation. We'll go over some of the original equipment and different things of the truck, and I hope y'all like it. It's an interesting piece, I think, and it's got a lot of little extras, historical extras coming with it. So that's good. But anyway, I'm taking a different route to work now. I'm getting into traffic here, so I'll probably go ahead and wrap this up. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. If the audio and noise levels was bad again, I apologize. Give me some time to figure something out, but maybe this will be okay. Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll have some new footage here soon, hopefully. See ya.